All right. Shalom. First and foremost, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahakwadash Rakah. Double honors to the elders over at Great Millstone who well. Shalom to you. Shalom, Alayim, Wabarakim to you brothers of the elect, the hopeful elect of Yasharallah, the hopeful elect of Israel, those of you doing the righteous works to the very end. Shalom to you brothers. And also shalom to those of you who are new to the faith, those of you who are learning who you are, learning about your heritage. So, first and foremost, this message is only to you, so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native American Indians. Those are all, in fact, bywords. You are, in fact, all the children of Israel, the true children of Israel, the direct descendants of the people of the Bible. The whole book is for you. It's about you. It's your history. It's your heritage. And, this message is directly to you, more specifically. So, just a little quick watch. I got this yesterday, but, wanted to get this video done. So, it's, an article from the Center Square, which is a news outlet. So, it says Region 3 shutdown coming Sunday. Sources confirmed. So it's a new shutdown coming for Region 3. Here in Illinois, I'm in the Midwest. I'm in Illinois and it says Region 3 shutdown coming Sunday. Sources confirmed. So starting Sunday is going to be a new shutdown for Region 3. So I'm going to read shortly what exactly those regions are. So who that entails. So it says Region 3 of Illinois under Governor J.B. Pritzker COVID-19 reopening plan will be joining most of the state with increased restriction on bars and restaurants, because they're talking about a reopening plan, and this is where it's going to get confusing because all in all, the state never really reopened. Things just got more relaxed, so to say, but all in all, we never really got an official word that the state was back open, although, more restaurants were open and more places were back to normal. This is still, they still have a reopening plan that they plan on going by. And we still are inside the same state of emergency that we've been in since the top of the year. It just might not seem like it, it's the calm of the storm, but that don't mean it's not storming. So it says J.B. Pritzker's COVID-19 reopening plan will be joining most of the state with increased restrictions on bars and restaurants. You see, we're talking about a reopening plan, but they're talking about increased restrictions on bars and restaurants. And that's a specific thing right now, these bars and restaurants, because that's typically the only thing that's open. People were getting back to the point where, you see people, eating outside, going to restaurants. Well, in Region 3 of Illinois, the shutdown is going to be this Sunday. It's going to start again. Several sources confirm the mitigation measures prohibiting bars and restaurants from having indoor service will start Sunday morning at 12:01 a.m. It's a lot. Region 3 includes Adams, Brown, Calhoun, Cass, Christian, Greene, Hancock, Jersey, Logan, Macoupin, Mason, Menard, Montgomery, Morgan, Pike, Sangamon, Schuyler, and Scott counties. So all of these counties are going back under a shutdown. As far as restaurants and bars go, you won't be able to go into restaurants or bars to just go eat inside. I'm sure you can still order, but there's no eating out. And then real quick, we got the word mitigation. Just want to get that real quick.
Mitigation.
It says the action of reducing the severity, seriousness, or painfulness of something. So mitigation is the action of reducing the severity, seriousness, or painfulness of something. Back to the article. So these mitigations, that's something important to look at too, because the mitigation is to, basically is to reduce this COVID-19, the coronavirus, what's going on. It's supposed to help relieve that, slow it down, pretty much suppress it. So the mitigations are going to be to take away more outlets for the people to go and be gathered together, or places where these germs can spread, like restaurants and bars. So they're pretty much mitigating these restaurants and bars, which seems like the opposite of what this article was talking about, especially with them talking about a reopening plan. So the reopening plan is really shutting things back down. If you're reading things correctly according to these mitigations is going to, just get it back real quick. Mitigation, it says the action of reducing the severity, seriousness, or painfulness or something. So to basically, it's tricky words. So basically, to reduce this coronavirus, so-called this COVID-19, the cases, from arising, they're making mitigations to stop you people from going to places like restaurants and bars, and that's pretty much the point of that. But, it gets interesting. So it says several sources say Illinois Department of Public Health Director Ngozi Ezike got an earful from lawmakers, and mayors on the call Thursday morning. The official announcement has yet to be released. So this the guy who's the health director. He's the guy who put the word out, and all these mayors and lawmakers, basically he got an earful. He got an earful from these people because he sent the announcement out. It says the official announcement has yet to be released. It says Ezeke admitted today that the only thing they can trace outbreaks to is universities and social gatherings. But restaurants and bars are going to be closed, said the state rep, Mike Murphy, Republican from Springfield. So basically, Esau, they deal with science, all in all. So the science is saying that all of these spikes in cases are only accredited to universities and what did it say? Universities and social gatherings. But instead they go shut down restaurants. You see? When Esau deals with the science. So with that being said, they're not even following their own science, and that's ultimately because they understand it's a joke, and also this is ultimately a plan. It's the pandemic. It says, but restaurants and bars are going to be closed, although the science only points to the universities and social gatherings. And it says, but they cannot prove there to be a direct correlation of outbreaks to restaurants and bars. Right? So they can't prove that through science, but they still going to shut them down. See, it's all part of the plan. He was told the data will be released in a week, despite his repeated requests for weeks for the information justifying such actions. So this Mike Murphy guy, he's been repeatedly requesting science proof as to why they're being shut down, and he hasn't got any answers back. And then he says it's just a theory. The theory might make sense, but they've been talking about using the science. Like he's saying, this might make sense because what he's saying makes sense. We go shut down restaurants and bars. Also, to slow this this so-called COVID, down. But he's saying if y'all go by the science, y'all need some proof, right? And he's saying that they're not only, the only proof they have is that universities and social gatherings are what is spiking these coronavirus cases. So like he says, just the theory might make sense, but they've been talking about using the science. See, that science, they've been talking about using the science, and now they're not using that, and we're just going to buy gut reaction. He said. So he see basically the BS of the governor, the government. Like, y'all talk about y'all about the science, but the science doesn't point to this, but yet this is what y'all doing. You know? And if he knew anything, he wouldn't have nothing to say because he already would expect it. Because we already know this is just part of the pandemic. This is all going on for a reason. There's bigger reasoning behind things. It don't have to be scientifically correct. Their science never been correct. It's always been pseudoscience. They create science to keep, the world distracted, keep Jake distracted especially, Some Dexter Laboratory type job. It's fake science. It's not nothing that's real or really ever making sense. That's why they don't pay attention to the science. But this is spelled wrong, but I think it says there was critical data. Critical data wasn't available to the public, but was being used internally by Pritzker. Pritzker is the governor of Illinois. So he said it's definitely critical data out there. Critical data wasn't available to the public, but was being used internally by Pritzker administration. So the governor, these people, these lawmakers, they know what's going on. They know what's truly going on because they hold on to all the information, all the I ain't gonna say true science, but the science they believe in. He says, look, I'm very disturbed that they're saying we're using science, but they won't show us the science, Murphy said. So he said he's very disturbed. He said he's very disturbed because they're saying they're using science, but they can't prove anything with science because they don't have anything to show. And it's just the what he said, Republican governor. Let me go find his name. He's a state representative, He's basically just asking. He's confounded because he knows that this whole thing is supposed to be based upon science and they're not using science. But, keep moving. It says, under the governor's unilateral plan, a region of the states get stricter mitigation measures when the COVID-19 positivity rate, the number of positive cases per total test taken, is above 8% for 3 days. So if you stay above 8% for 3 days, they go shut you down. So they say. There are 11 regions of the state, and most have increased positivity rates above 8%. So saying most of the states pretty much about to get shut down. It says the first tier of mitigations prohibits indoor service at bars. So no more going into restaurants and bars. And also limits gathering to 25 or fewer. Masking and other social distancing regulations are also in place. So the mitigations do not include schools, which takes you right back to all the science and stuff, because the mitigations does not include schools. What is a university? Where they saying these cases are spiking? That's a university. That's a school. Same thing. It's a lot of context in here, man. It says a region can have mitigation measures relaxed if the COVID-19 positivity rates goes below 6.5% for 3 days. So this thing is growing. Whatever it be, even if it's fake, it's a growing part of the pandemic, and there's more I'm gonna say there's more stems coming off of it they're using, against the people, ultimately Jake, because ultimately this is all part of the ultimate plan to destroy. But, just a quick little watch. The pandemic is in action, and, watch out for shutdowns. So, hopefully this is edifying. With that said, I'm going to say shalom.